Hello everybody. My name is Felicia Terry and currently I am a realtor of Villa Home. I have Mr. Travis Durham here.
Hello.
And Mr. Durham, we closed on your house today. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. It's exciting. It's been a journey.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
And now you have it all behind you.
Absolutely.
No more signatures and
no more
emails
signatures and bank negotiations.
Right. Well, and I did bring my notepad, so I make sure I ask the questions that are very important for you guys to be able to make your decisions. So I know that you and I and my husband, Bobby Terry, we met right when we moved here to South Carolina, beginning of 2018, and I know you have been receiving tons of letters and phone calls. May I ask, why did you decide to do business with the Terry family as opposed to anybody else you could have done business with?
That's a great question. You're right. I was getting inundated with mailings and people wanting to meet with me regarding my home. I was in a great area, had some equity, things of that nature, and really the difference, and I've shared this with both of you, is that when I met with you, you didn't look at me as a number. You didn't look at me as a check. You looked at me as a person.
Right.
And that was really what made the difference. Is you looking at me as a person and asking me what I wanted to see happen, what my goals were, and helping me make decisions that were in my best interest versus decisions that worked out better for you. And it was sincere.
Right.
It was sincere. I could tell that you both were passionate about the work that you do and passionate about, helping people that are in the foreclosure process.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what made the difference for me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I really do appreciate that. We definitely try to set ourselves aside and be a little bit more helpful.
Absolutely. You do a great job.
Thank you. Did you feel tugged in any kind of way to sell your house with us?
Absolutely not. Not at all. Like I said, you guys came in asking questions. You came in asking questions and listening, and actively listening, and try to find out what was in my best interest. And that was really clear. So I didn't feel tugged at all. I felt supported. I felt that finally, because I talked to a lot of different people, and to be quite honest, I felt like they were vultures. They were only looking for a gain. They didn't really care about me as a person. They didn't really care about what was in the best interest of my family.
Right.
They cared about what was in their interest. So absolutely, I didn't feel tugged at all, but I felt supported.
Good, yeah. And that's important because I think you had, 3 kids at the time?
4.
4 at the time, yeah. So, that's important. We never want to put people out or any of that crazy stuff that some investors will try to do, like you said, to fatten their pocket.
Right.
It's always the family first, and then if we can make money, help you make money, then it's a win-win situation.
Absolutely. And it was great that you offered me options. You offered me several options, and really options that no one else had even attempted to talk to me about. And that was another thing. You listened and you offered options based on what I was saying versus coming in and telling me what I need to do.
Right.
Which makes a huge difference.
And that actually brings me to my next question. So after reviewing all of the options that you had, do you feel a short sale was your best choice?
Yeah, absolutely. Based on kind of what my goals were and, the long-term short sale for my situation at this time was the best option. But, back to working with you guys, when we first talked, that was not, what I was looking to do.
Right.
But, after talking with you and looking over the options and, taking my emotions out of the situation and looking at the big picture, it made sense. And you guys were very supportive with that process. And so I think it went well. I think that we worked together really well to work through some of the challenges. You guys were, a huge advocate, and you fought for me with the bank numerous times. and that makes a big difference because I know that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, that is true. We fought with the bank and against the bank sometimes, right?
Right. Yep.
And you even help us to fight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, any advice to people who are facing foreclosure?
Well, yeah, absolutely. If anybody's in this process, because regardless of who you are and how well you plan, because I plan really well. I'm the kind of person that likes to have a plan A, B, and C. But life can happen to any of us.
That's right.
And so, what I would say is, if you're in a situation where you're looking at possibly dealing with a foreclosure process, contact you guys early, so that you can talk to people about the different options. The earlier you talk and have a conversation and discuss, the more options you have available.
That's right.
And I think what happens a lot of times with people is they're upset, they're emotional, and they're not really thinking about the situation logically, and they may be in denial, and they prolong the process, which gives them less options. So my biggest piece of advice is contact you guys early as possible, so that you can talk to them and have more options available, because you guys have a ton of resources outside of selling your home or short selling your home, or definitely ended up in a foreclosure process. And that's the biggest piece of advice that I would share.
Yeah. I mean, because over 90% of people that we come in contact with, they actually want to keep their home. So I'm glad you shared that, that advice. That's tremendous advice, because a lot of people will call us back after months and months of being in touch and saying, hey, what can I do? And they have like less than a month to do something.
Right.
Their house is about to sell at the auction, and at that point it's not a whole lot we can do. So that limits us, and we don't want to work and know that we're working towards failure. You know what I mean? It's like you fail before you get started.
Right. Exactly.
Unless they utilize the program that you use.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And I was impressed with your situation, being able to stay in that predicament for 3 long years.
Absolutely.
And of course we won't cover that in this video. I appreciate the testimonial that you gave me prior to this. So if you want to watch that, I'll definitely shoot that to you as well. But anyway, lastly, would you recommend the Terry team to assist someone who is looking to sell or buy a house?
Absolutely. I'll say this. There's nobody that I personally know, and I know a lot of realtors and a lot of folks, that if I'm in a situation like this, that I would work with other than you two. Because the heart that you have for people, your own story of being able to relate to this experience.
That's right.
And the ethical nature and the professional nature in which you conduct yourself, all those pieces are there, and that's what most people are looking for. And I couldn't think about working with anybody else other than y'all. A situation like this. So I highly encourage anybody going through this process to reach out to you, because there are a lot of vultures out here. There are a lot of people that are not genuine, may pretend to be genuine, but you guys are the real deal. So absolutely, I highly recommend you guys.
Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. Well, it was great meeting you, great doing business with you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.